So, if you've never seen me before, my name is Gemini, and essentially, I've made many billions of coins from the auction house, and I've given away 16 billion of them to a bunch of different creators and YouTubers everywhere. But today's not about that. Today's not a giveaway or anything. People have been asking for a while for me to teach everyone how to flip, and today that's what I'm here to do. So, I really hope you guys enjoy the guide. If you learned something, please drop a like or a sub. It really helps with the channel, and let's get started. So obviously the first thing you want to do is you want to come over to the auction house, you're going to want to go in, and you're going to want to find yourself an item that you want to look at. Now, what item you use doesn't matter because there's always going to be a way to do this. What we're doing is we're flipping margins. If you look at last breaths, you'll see that maxed versus clean is always going to have this weird dip in the value. So this max one right now at 6.9 mil that just went up 10 seconds ago is worth much more than this 7 mil clean one. And if we go back and look just how much more, the difference can be at least 2 million coins. And no, it's actually 3 million here. I'm kind of slow. But what we're looking is we're trying to find these margins between clean and maxed. So if you're looking at clean, the average price is about 7 million coins. And then as soon as we start to look towards the more enchanted with stuff on them, they slightly increase right here at 269. But then they can go up by even more without even the hot potato books or anything. All the way up to around 8 million coins before it gets back to that. Which means that all we have to do is take these enchanted ones and move them back up into these higher price margins and just create this price that we've decided is fair. Because at that time, last breaths aren't doing too well. Clearly people are trying to sell out of them and get out, but what you're doing is you're saying, hey, I understand you're trying to sell out, but I have patience. So I'm willing to make myself 600k to 3 million just moving these into the correct price range. So essentially all you're doing here is you're a glorified librarian. You're just sorting. Let's move on to another thing that's always fun to look at. Ender Dragons. Ignoring the fact that I just got kicked out of Skyblock, let's go back and look at Ender Dragons. Now, pet flipping is something that I use to teach this method all the time. So if you look, the difference between a level 1 and a level 62 can be this small, but can slowly increase. And then we'll see that there's these three lying between the level 1s, and these are able to make mad profit. Because if we look at the actual value of a 62 on the auction house, it is over 2 to 3 million coins above that, and then it gets even higher because we're still in this territory. So right here at 43 for these level 70s, we could get around this area with the 62s just by having patience, and that's up from 39. So if we take this, we'd essentially move from 39 to 42 million coins, which is a great margin, and people will save a mil just to buy a little 10 levels less, especially since this has a candy, and this one they're not going to want. So what you're doing is you're finding the margin between items that have similar qualities, and you're closing up those gaps. This is even more to be said for one of the most profitable items to flip in the game. Giant swords. A lot of people don't realize it, but people who buy giant swords are always trying to cash out in some way or another. Look at the margins between these. They go straight from 68 mil, 69 mil, 72, 75, 76, and there are just small differences between them. What you can do is you can essentially say, if I had enough money, this is worth 81, this is worth 76, this is worth 79, and you could take this one at 79, move it up straight to 81, and you could bring this one forward to 76 or 77, and you can move this one forward. So you're essentially taking the price of an item and forcing it upwards in order to make everything behind it more valuable. You've now created an artificial market for yourself to flip in, and this is essentially the whole point behind this method. You're creating a margin that works for you, but doesn't really pertain to the actual economy of Skyblock. Now, there's a few more things I want you to remember. One is that no matter what, there's always going to be someone who's willing to pay a higher price for an artificial quality. So it doesn't have to be the best item on the AH. The Livid Dagger up left may be an actually better sword, but just because the one on the right is priced a little bit higher and looks like it has a few more enchants, people are going to be willing to pay that dividend, and that's where you're really going to be flipping your money. The beauty of this method is that it's not based on the actual quality of the item or anything about that. While yes, it's important to make sure that you're fitting it in the right category, it's more or less just based on how much you can move at a time. You don't need to make a million coins per flip, because if you can flip 500k 3 times in the time it'll take to flip that 1 million coins, you've already made more. I know this is going to be confusing in the beginning, and there's going to be a lot of people that need help. And I offer 24/7 support with two other people who are coaches for me. The biggest thing I want you to remember is that even though one item or market can die because quantity and quality in Skyblock is always going to soon merge with how much items are flooded into the market, and eventually flipping a certain piece won't be profitable. But the beauty is that this can work for anything. You find an item you like and you stay there and you control that market, and you will see up to 80 million coins an hour just by relaxing. I know this isn't the full method, and to get it, it's on the Discord where we teach AH flipping and a bunch of other methods. Some you can even find free from other players in the Discord. But I definitely recommend checking it out because I give away billions of coins every month, if not a few hundred million. And I genuinely hope to see you guys there. We're hosting a championship, and there's going to be real life prizes and a lot of money being given out. So I just want to ask you to like, subscribe, and consider hopping onto a Twitch stream linked in the description. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Bye.